Well, what's up everybody? So in today's video we're going to be playing with the GT-R. We're going to go back and forth between the current tune that's on the vehicle, the high boost one right from AAM Competition, and then we're going to reflash the ECU back to the stock configuration and really see the difference between a remote tune GT-R with 19 PSI versus the stock 13 PSI Nissan tune. So real quick though, before we get started in the video, I want to show you the new setup for the actual Cobb tuner. I was able to mount it in a pretty nice way. So first up, let me pull up the floor mat. I have the cable running right below that. And then the splitter is plugged right here into the OBD2 port. All the plugs are tucked over in this area right here. So with the cable there, it goes over to the other side of the seat. And then I bought a 12-volt adapter with a little neck on it, and then actually a magnet clip right here. And since the Cobb tuner has a magnet on the back of it, it just sticks right there. So really easy for me to see like air fuel ratios and quickly do any kind of tuning or anything like that. And actually real quick, the kit that I bought on Amazon actually had these extra magnet pieces. I stuck it on the inside of this piece on my phone. And since I have a wallet phone case, this piece slides out, so I'm actually able to put it on the inside so there's nothing on the phone. And with the Cobb tuner off, if I'm on like a long trip, my cell phone sticks to it as well. So that's kind of a nice little touch right there. That was like 14 bucks on Amazon. So we're gonna drive the car in the current configuration. So this has been remote tuned with AAM Competition. Those guys are up in Maryland. If you have a 370Z or GT-R or any of the Nissan sports cars, definitely check them out. I'll have the link to their website in the description below. They have all the bolt-on parts for all these cars. And then especially for the GT-R, pick yourself up a Cobb tuner and have Mike from AAM do some remote tuning with you. So we're dialing this car in basically from stock all the way up to going full stage 3 with full bolt-ons. So this thing is going to be a monster. So first things first, in the car with it running, to actually adjust the different boost settings, you hit cancel and watch the boost gauge. So that is the map number 0, map 1, map 2, and map 3. Map 3 is valet. So right there, that is the high boost 19 PSI tune that we'll be running the car on. And then you can see my view of the Cobb tuner. So we'll do some runs, switching to the GoPro view, and the GoPro should be able to see this gauge, so watch carefully. You'll see this go all the way around to 20. We'll do some runs, and then we'll do some POV drives. And then I'll show you how to reflash it to the stock tune, and then we will do basically the same thing. Setting off now in the GT-R. So this tune, I've driven it about 200 miles now with the high boost setting, and it is impressive how it rips way past 4,000 RPM. And when we get back to the stock tune, you'll see how like after 4 to 5, it's not that powerful. It just kind of gets there while this thing just keeps pulling. So we'll do like a mid acceleration from second gear. I don't know what the boost was on that one, but that is pretty quick. So we'll do a quicker acceleration from third gear now. We'll get up going like 40 miles an hour and then pin it full throttle. So we'll get to the straight. So 40 miles an hour in third gear, high boost. Holy crap. So I don't know, I doubt the camera's gonna understand and pick up really any of this, but third gear, once it got to 5,000, that's when it normally like kind of starts falling flat. But right there, it just kept pulling, hit red line, shifted, and then even in fourth gear, it was still pulling really, really hard. And a lot of you comment saying I'm always short shifting the car. With this stock tune, it's a waste to redline it. There's no power above 6,000, so redlining it is pointless. You're just wasting time. You could be in a higher gear at a lower RPM having more power. So that's why you always see me short shift the car. However, now it's a valid argument for the people who are gonna say I'm still short shifting. With the high boost setting, it just keeps pulling. So now, hitting a red line, I mean, I'm still not gonna redline it all the time just because I don't wanna destroy my car, but hitting the higher RPM is now better to do now because there's more power up there. So we'll do a second gear from 20 now, or 25, I guess. Holy crap. That was the first time I've actually done a second gear acceleration like that. Okay, so fourth gear from 55. Wow. Oh my goodness, it's so impressive. Like, I don't even know, the camera's not going to do it justice, but it's pulling in every gear, every RPM, and then even just a lower RPM third gear acceleration. Oh man. That right there, that was fourth gear on the highway. Like, You don't do that in the stock form. It just does not have that kind of power. And I know it's hard to say that the stock car doesn't have power, but this car shines with its launch control. That's really its claim to fame. 2.7 seconds 0 to 60. That is Bugatti Veyron territory. So with this car, first, second gear, it is so fast stock, but it just kind of falls flat in the higher RPM. So we'll do a 60 mile an hour. Go to fourth gear. We'll do 63. Even in fifth gear, that was half throttle, and it's still pulling. That is impressive. And the throttle response is also a lot quicker. It seems like the turbos kind of kick in a little bit sooner. As soon as you punch it, there's still a little turbo lag just because you have two larger turbos. But, I mean, it's just more responsive in every aspect. So now, do second gear, merging with some highway speed traffic. It's just, wow. There's not much words to say. It's fast. Like, it is truly fast throughout the revs, throughout every gear. Obviously, we're not going to redline fifth and sixth gear because we'd be really breaking the speed limit. But third and fourth gear, there's now power, and it's got the top end. And this is still pretty much a stock car, just the 2.75-inch air intakes, and then the wide pipe back exhaust system. 3-inch intakes are coming. That'll be another big boost in power. That'll be a full stage 2 system. So in the car with the POV angle, you can see how I can adjust the boost setting right there, all the way down to low boost, middle boost, and high boost. So we'll leave it on that. Race mode for the drivetrain and the traction control. And then we'll do another acceleration on the highway. So I'll go from second gear, and you'll be able to watch the boost and then watch the tack to see how everything does it. And then from fourth gear, you can see how quick that is. And it's crazy seeing the boost gauge just climb and climb up to 20 almost. So then a third gear at 60. Obviously that was short shifting, but you can see just how quick everything moves. Okay, so that is high boost setting. It is really, really fast. I don't know if the camera is going to do any of it justice, but it is really quick. So now we are going to switch it to the stock one. So we're just going to turn the ignition back to the on position. Okay, so all we're going to do is escape out of here, and then down here to the tune, and then we're going to go up to change ECU map. Now PSI. It's loading them. So this one right here is actually from Cobb. This is a stock one. I've had it on the other day, and it literally feels exactly the way the car is stock. So hit continue, and then all we're gonna do is let it go. It's gonna take a few minutes to do that as it's loading, and real quick, it's kind of weird. You got all the things flashing on the dash. It's saying malfunction. We have pretty much everything going right now, but it is loading the stock map, and then we will catch up in just a few minutes.
A few moments later.
All right, so it just zipped through. It's just finishing up the last little adjustments. So now it wants me to turn it off and then wait about 10-15 seconds and then turn it back to the on position. So we'll count to 10. All right, good enough. Back to on. I'm gonna hit OK. And then I should be able to just start it up. I'll hit continue. All right, so that is done. Of course, all the lights are gone, everything is back to normal. And then real quick, when I hit the cancel button, it still goes down, but now there is nothing right there. So this is the stock replication map. And then if we go back here, show current map, we got the ECU stage 0, which is from Cobb. So now I'm gonna drive the car around just a little bit just to have everything relearn, and then we're gonna do the same type of pulls on the highway, kind of get a feel for the car in the stock position. So before, I mean, we were hitting boost way down here at 19. Now it's gonna be about there, which is 13. Now in the stock tune, we'll do a slow acceleration and then a faster one. So that was about up to 8 PSI. That was like half throttle, short shifting. Even that already, you can feel like the power kind of starting, but that was about it. Of course, you know, half throttle and stuff, so we weren't full boosting. But already it's feeling a little sluggish, which I feel so weird. When I bought the car, I was like, man, how could it even ever get faster? And of course already we're wanting it to be faster. So getting back to this same spot now, I believe we did a second gear on this one. So we'll do second gear and pin it and see what this one is like. I think we're about 20 miles an hour or something. I mean, that was still really fast. I could tell it only went up to just past the 10 PSI, fourth gear. See right there, nothing impressive in fourth gear. The second gear pull though still felt really quick. We'll have to do another one just to get just one last idea of how that feels. So second gear again. So second gear, it feels almost the same. It's kind of hard to tell really, but once you get into third gear, that's when it makes a big difference. It just doesn't have that same acceleration. But I will say just now, I didn't feel that same really push you back in your seat. It pushed you back in your seat, but it obviously wasn't the same. So getting back on the highway, I believe we did a third gear one. So we'll pin it in third gear as we get up to speed. So right there, as soon as I got into fourth gear, like, there was like no power at all. So we'll do another fourth gear on the highway. Yeah, that right there is a big difference. It's like, literally it's not that quick. So we'll slow down a little bit. So now we'll slow down and do third gear. Such a big difference. There's like, it's not the same at all. That's incredible. All right, so back with the POV now. We are in the stock tune, of course. We'll do the same second gear acceleration. I mean, it's still quick, but that was nothing the same. Like before, I had to physically hold myself from flying straight back into the seat. This time, I mean, it went, but it was nothing the same. So another fourth gear one. I mean, you can see the Jeep on the left, how they were coming up, but pinning it took a while to actually get ahead of them. That was impressive. And then a fifth gear. I mean, there's absolutely no power right there, but really crazy to see how the TAC does it differently and how the boost gauge does it differently. I mean, it's a night and day difference. Like going back to stock is crazy. So fourth gear again, we'll let this car pass, and then getting back to them. I mean, look how long that took. With the high boost setting, I would have been there like a long time earlier. Alright, so putting the car back to the stock form, that is such a big mistake. It is so much more fun with the high boost setting with the tuned map. Like, I never would have thought I would get bored of a GT-R, which I'm not bored, obviously, but my goodness, the car is so much better with the tune. It's so quick, the throttle response is better, the turbo power, every single thing is awesome. So real quick, we're gonna switch it back to the tune from AAM. The 3-inch intakes, I believe, are gonna be here tomorrow. So this weekend, that will be the project. That'll of course be in a later video. But yeah, stock tune, no way. Alright, so turn this off, count to 15. Alright, and then shut it off. Alright, so I believe we are now back to running the tune on the car. And then now we can go back, hitting the cancel button. There we go, high boost setting, the fun way to drive a GT-R. Well, there you have it, comparing the stock tune with the GT-R to the first one that AAM has sent me. That is such a big difference. I know the tests I did weren't too scientific. I didn't do like straight on 0 to 60 runs or launch control testing or anything like that, but just the accelerations you saw and just the overall daily driving aspects to it, because obviously every day I'm not launch controlling it, 0 to 60ing it, I'm just driving it, accelerating fast, having some fun with it. The extra 6 pounds of boost, the engine timing, everything that has been tweaked with the car, it just makes such a big difference, and it makes this so much more fun to drive. It was already a blast to drive, and I really can't say enough good things about it, but now with it tuned on pretty much a stage 1 setup with just the intakes and then a mid-pipe back exhaust system, it's crazy how much more power there is in the higher speeds for 3rd gear and 4th gear. Really big difference. So huge thumbs up once again to AAM Competition. Definitely check them out. Remote tuning with the car has been very easy so far using the Cobb tuner and emailing them data files, so it's really cool to be able to work with them like that. So definitely check them out. If you have any type of Nissan sports car, bolt-on parts, tuning, all that kind of good stuff, definitely check them out. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Give it a huge thumbs up. Putting the GT-R back to stock temporarily, and then now we're back to tune, and of course you have some more big things coming. Anyway guys, give it a big thumbs up, smash the subscribe button. We'll see you all next video.